How's everybody doing? Okay, so I'm very excited about this video. I am going to be giving my top 5 things that I wish I knew before buying a house, or like things that I learned as I've been living in this house. I think this is hopefully gonna be really helpful. If you guys have any additional questions, feel free to comment. I'll be happy to answer anything. Definitely not an expert. These are just, simple little things that I wish that I had either like paid attention to or just, kind of knew about. As you can see, part of my house is in the background. I love it so much. I think it's so cute. So yeah, let's get started. So my number 1 tip for anyone buying a house is to look into HOA. So if your house or condo or whatever comes with an HOA, definitely ask questions about it. I don't think I asked enough questions. I just kind of assumed I knew how HOAs worked. And again, I don't know if the way ours works is the way other people's works, but it's basically through like a property management group kind of thing. Find out what the property management company is named, and then do a Google search, read reviews about them, see what other people think. I do personally think that ours is a little bit hard to communicate with, as well as our board. Board members consist of members of the community. I live right next door to the president. Make sure you fully understand what the HOA fee that you're paying covers. I feel like the budget is a little bit mismanaged. I'm not a huge numbers person. I don't really know finances all that well. But just from the few board meetings that I've attended since I've started living here, it does kind of seem like things might be a little bit mismanaged. The condos that are here need a little bit of work, and they're just not getting or prioritizing. So anyway, just kind of like find out more about that, ask more questions about the HOA, make sure you understand what they're covering, and just like find out more about how they're managed, and if you want to do a work order, how that's gonna operate, because it's all really important and issues you're probably gonna run into at some point. Item number 2, don't be afraid to ask for appliances and furniture. I think this is a lot of advice that people get while they're buying houses, but if your realtor doesn't, say anything about it, or if you're just kind of curious but afraid to ask, like if you can keep the refrigerator or the washer and dryer, things like that, don't be afraid to ask. Everything is negotiable. Even if there's just furniture that you want to keep, make sure that like you're asking to, maybe you can buy that off of them, or if they can leave it for you. Sometimes it's more of an inconvenience for the seller to move it themselves, and it might be cheaper for you to just buy it off them than to buy your own brand new furniture. So if you trust it and if it looks great, like see if you can buy it off of them. You never know. So my next tip is to walk around the neighborhood. So if you find a house that you really like and you can get into it, come at night, walk around, see kind of, what's going on, what's the haps, what's the dealio, what's the 411?
What's the haps, what's the dealio, what's the 411?
If you see a neighbor, you kind of ask them, be like, hey, how do you like living here? How's the HOA managed? Maybe get some tea from them, because at the end of the day, the sellers are trying to sell you a house. Like they're trying to get rid of their house. So asking them, you may not get the full truth or like the full story. I found this tip really helpful when I was looking at houses, because there were some that were like, I thought were really close to the office, wherever you're currently living. In the morning when you're getting ready for work, or like right when it's like rush hour, get out your phone and do like Google Maps and do directions from a house that you're thinking about buying to your office. See what that traffic is like in the morning. And you can do the same thing like before you leave work in the evening. That way you get like a good sense of how long it's gonna take you to get there in the morning and in the evening, because like that's really where you're going most of the time anyway, and that kind of gives you a sense of like what rush hour looks like. I did that, and it definitely was really helpful in decision making, because there were a lot of houses that were gonna take me like 45 minutes to get to work because of traffic, and I was like, no, like that was a huge deal breaker. Next tip. So for those of you who don't know, credit plays a huge role in buying a house. So your credit score will impact your interest rate that you are given. I have a great credit score, so I worked very hard for that. And I'm very, very proud of it. So make sure that you're doing all you can to keep your credit score as high as you can. That way you can get the lowest interest rate possible. The more money you put down, the lower your monthly payments every month as well. I know that, you know, some people don't make a lot of money and it's hard for them to have a down payment. I was one of those people. There are programs out there that you can use for first-time homeowners or for those people who make not so much money, where like the realtor will help pay your closing costs. So definitely look into all those programs, ask around, do some research to find out if there's a program out there that fits you in particular. Okay, so now you're thinking about buying a house, you've done a little bit of research, you think you may have found a house. Really do some time thinking and considering why you are buying this house, because it is a big endeavor and like it's hard to get rid of. Once you buy it, like it's yours. Are you planning on renting it later on? Are you only planning on staying where you're at for a couple of years? Are you doing it just because it's cheaper month to month? Are you like tired of paying rent to someone else when you can be creating equity for yourself? And just, you know, make sure that you're doing it for all the right reasons. Much like The Bachelor.
Much like The Bachelor.
Okay. My last tip, and this is a big one. Are you guys ready? Pay attention to the bodies of water that are around your home. Ask about flooding. Ask about access to these bodies of water. Don't just rely on pictures that you're seeing. Go and see them yourself. Anything that there's a picture of, like a tennis court, a pool, a boardwalk, anything like that, like a body of water especially, go and see it yourself just to like make sure that you're not gonna be like in a flood zone. Also, bugs like to go to water. So just kind of like make sure you're aware of like the bug situation. Here in the South, we have mosquitoes. We have those pesky little palmetto bugs that like to hang out in the forest, or like water bugs near water. So just kind of like make sure that you know what you're getting yourself into. And again, that could be a question that you ask your neighbors. You can be like, hey, so like, what's the bug situation like here? Just like, you know, double check just to make sure that like when you're in your home, you're gonna be as comfortable as possible, because it is your home. And like I said, it's really hard to get out of once you buy a house. Okay. So those are my tips. I hope you found them helpful. If you have any additional tips or anything you'd like to give people, please comment down below. If you have questions, if you think this sucked, if you think this was amazing, comment below. I would love to hear amazing things. Subscribe, like, do the notification bell so you can see whenever I post a new video. All right, have a good afternoon. Bye.